Beertubers, welcome back to Maxwell Star's Beer Review. We're just celebrating our 150th review. Just finished reviewing Labatt Porter from Albino Rhino Beer Reviews. It was sent me from Ontario. The rare beer is actually from Quebec, but whatever. Anyway, I thought I'd say a few words about the channel. I'd like to thank everyone who likes watching my channel. It really means a lot for my videos to get appreciated. I really like seeing people click like on my videos. I like the comments. I like the interactivity. It's really great. And for just doing this for 5 months now, I haven't even done it for a year. It's great to see this kind of feedback at this stage in the game. Maybe the channel's not grown as much as some other people in the same amount of time, but I'm still trying. I'm still trying to get better too. Anyway, so thought I'd say a couple words. Pour myself a Guinness here. Love a pint of the black stuff. It's a draft can. You don't really need to let it settle right up the top. So, I compiled a list of the 150 reviews that I've done so far. I've compiled a little list of what I thought were the best, and a couple others that were noteworthy. I've also got a list of other things here, such as, yeah, like all different beers that I really like. My beer bucket list is coming up, and the shittiest beer I've ever reviewed on this channel, and also some shoutouts. So, I might as well get started, and I made a list of all the beers in the ale category that I really enjoyed, and some other noteworthy ones. First one I listed was ale, red ale. Picaroons Irish Red. That's my favorite of that red ale style. However, two other beers that I thought that deserved noteworthy mentions because they're really delicious if you get a chance to try them. And that's Guinnes Island Red and Big Tide's Celtic Mist Irish Red. I thought that the Picaroons Irish Red far and away had the best flavor. I had some hey, it's been a couple weeks since I reviewed it. I just remember it had some really nice flavors as well as being quite drinkable. Guinnes also made a really good one. And Big Tide, the flavor profile is a little bit muted on that one, but damn is that thing ever so drinkable. And also remarkably complex for being so muted. Both really great beers. In the stout category, we've got St-Ambroise Oatmeal Stout. I think I got a bottle of that stashed up here. It's buried in the back. I'll grab it later. Yeah, I think most people know what it is anyway. Reviewed that on my channel. I didn't write down what review number it was. Also noteworthy ones are Guinness Draught, which I'll get into that in a sec. And also O'Hara's Irish Stout. Another one I didn't write down on the list that's also worthy of a noteworthy mention is Picaroons Timberhawk, which is also a really great stout if you ever get to try it. Anyway, one of the biggest things I really thought Guinness deserved a noteworthy mention is, I don't think there's not many other brewers that really put such attention and detail of how their product is presented to the customer. Honestly and truly, Guinness is I won't call it a mediocre stout. It's not the best flavored stout. It's not the most well-bodied stout. It's just one of the darndest drinkable stouts. And not only that, best-looking stouts. Look at that. Just a nice, thick, dense nitrogen head coming from the widget can, obviously. And not only that, but there's also the presence of the appearance of Guinness in the in like a pub. If you sit down in a pub and they've got that authentic Guinness pouring system that keeps the bloody thing at 0 degrees or whatever, and pours that thing so beautifully, and they got that specific pouring system that it's just an amazing beer. That when you think about it, all the attention to detail they made into presenting their product, and their product anyway, without all that, is still a good tasting beer. Speaking of which, oh yeah. Anyway, porter. Favorite porter of all time, as of review 150, is Picaroons Man's Best Friend. Really enjoyed that one. I just posted that review a couple weeks ago. I don't even think it was a week ago, was it? Oh, whatever. I just posted that review not too long ago, and it was a delicious porter. Another one that's a noteworthy mention, of course, is Propeller's London Porter. And I'll add Fuller's London Porter to that list. I mean, if you're going to enjoy any kind of English-style porter, it's got to be a Fuller's. I just felt that Propeller London Porter was also worth mentioning, as well as, of course, Picaroons Man's Best Friend. Delicious. So, for my India Pale Ale category, I was going to give number 1 to the India Pale Ale Double IPA from Big Tide. Their Tidal Wave Double IPA. Very good stuff. It's too bad that that was a limited run, although there is talk about bringing it back for a limited release. Although when I spoke to the guy down at Big Tide Brewery, he said that if they do may bring it back, they might consider making it a little less high on the ABV scale, just because of how drunk that stuff got the patrons. So that was kind of neat to hear. But you know what? If you were to bottle that stuff, Big Tide, that is an amazing IPA. And people wouldn't care if it was 9.3. I mean, it's a double. It's supposed to be pretty high. Another noteworthy IPAs were Propeller's IPA. They that one's sitting up front. Yeah, like Propeller's IPA. That's another delicious IPA. Got that one saved because I'm going to mail that maybe. That's another delicious IPA that's certainly worth mentioning. And another one is, of course, the Garrison Imperial IPA, which is another delicious one. It's funny that my Big Tide Tidal Wave Double IPA and Garrison's Imperial IPA were brewed by the same person, Greg Nash. Over. Pale Ale. Garrison Hopyard Pale Ale wins my number 1 for Pale Ale category. It's more of like, I guess you would call it an American style Pale Ale, where it's really hoppy, but it's got these nice hoppy character, hoppy tastes, and you could close your eyes and think you were drinking an IPA if you weren't really paying attention to just how bitter it was. It's got all those hop flavors, but it doesn't have the hop bitterness, and it's extremely delicious. Another Pale Ale I thought worth mentioning is, I didn't really give it a high rating. I gave it a 3. And I think in retrospect, if I were to rate it again, I might give it a 3.5. It's just, it's gone on to become one of my favorite session beers and a nice staple to have in my fridge. Whenever I have it in my fridge, I usually find myself gravitating towards that when I'm not doing a review, just because I really like it. And that would be Moosehead's Pale Ale. It's a macro company. That beer just won a silver medal at the Canadian Brewing Awards. I really like it. And it's not like it's over top the greatest. It's just a great beer to sit down with, especially when they're cheap and you can drink a lot of them. Let's go on to my English bitter category. The British fans might like this one. By the way, I might as well mention, I'm going to go into the shoutouts later, but I got to say, British fans of my channel, I really appreciate you guys watching this. It means a heck of a lot. I'm sorry I don't have a lot of British beers to review. I hope my channel's enough to keep you guys interested. And I gotta say that British bitters, one of my favorite styles. They are delicious. So my number 1 for the English bitter category was Fuller's ESB. I've heard beer goggles go into it before, where he's compared to Fuller's products in the can and the bottle side by side. Didn't find any difference. Who knows? Maybe it's some kind of deal where they're like the freshness isn't quite as good in the can, or because it's sat in the can longer. I have no idea. I've always found that the Fuller's products, when it comes to them being in the can versus the bottle, I've always liked the bottle better. However, I've got to say, and it's a different case for my Fuller's ESB review, because I reviewed that one in the can and actually thought it was really enjoyable. Oh, excuse me. Noteworthy mention, I got to say. And I really appreciate all of the comments and all the feedback I got on that one. But Old Speckled Hen. It was just one of those beers where I had one, and it's not like it's over the top impressive or anything. But then you are there a few, maybe after that one or something, thinking, oh man, I wish I had another one. It's that kind of beer. It's that one that maybe it's not the best tasting beer in the world, but it's definitely one that you would want to have again soon after. It's actually a really good beer, and I should have added it to my bucket list later on, but I should have put the old crafty hen on there, because I bet that's pretty good to eat that too. Anyway, another one, Canadian mention, Picaroons Best Bitter. If you're ever in Canada, give our best Picaroons Best Bitter a try. That one's a really delicious beer as well. Belgian Abbey styles. Love Belgian Abbey styles. This is the last one on my list of ales. Chimay Grand Reserve. Absolutely adored that beer when I had it. It was really good. Another two that I really liked were from a Canadian company called Unibrew. This is the Noteworthy category. Unibrew Trois Pistoles and Unibrew La Fin du Monde. Now I got a bottle of Chimay Grand Reserve and a bottle of Unibrew Fin du Monde that have been sitting in my a cold, dark place since April of this past year, shortly before I started doing reviews. So hopefully around that time frame I'll be pulling those out of storage. It all depends on how life, work goes. It's just if I can, I'll be doing a matured bottle for a review at some point in the future of Chimay Grand Reserve and Unibrew Fin du Monde. Unibrew Trois Pistoles, I wish I had some extra bottles of that. It's not available here. Got lucky and a buddy of mine was going down to Halifax and got some. Anyway, that's it. This is for the ales. I mean, there's other types of ales out there, and I've reviewed other types of ales. It's just that as far as ales go, I haven't reviewed enough to say much, or I just maybe I forgot to mention like Golden Ale or something. Anyway, for my lagers, I split this one off into 4 categories. I split it into Pilsner, Marzen, Standard Lager, all other types, and Light Lager. For my Pilsner, I love Pilsner Urquell. It's got to be the best, one of the best Pilsners out there, at least the best one I've had. Other noteworthy mention is Warsteiner. I love Warsteiner's Pilsner as well. But when it comes to being a Pilsner, Pilsner Urquell is my go-to. I love reviewing a good Pilsner though. Marzen's Paulaner Oktoberfest. I absolutely enjoyed that beer. Sam Adams also makes a good one as well. Their Oktoberfest is pretty good. All other types of lagers, wrote down Sam Adams Boston Lager in there as the top one. Another one which is really good is Grolsch, as well as Alpine makes a really good lager as well. So if you're in the Maritimes, give Alpine a try. It's not the greatest thing since sliced bread, but it's definitely a good sessionable lager, especially for an adjunct lager. Light lager. I thought when it came to light beers is a tough one to get right, and a tough one to actually have somebody like. It's just, they're by nature a bland beer. They're just a nice drinking beer that you want like a light amount of flavor, very light. And I thought the best tasting one that I ever had was Moosehead's Crack Canoe. It's only 3.5% ABV, but it's actually got some really nice beer flavors, beer characteristics, as well as being a generally nice light drinking beer. Another one that makes a good one is Sleeman's. Sleeman's light beer is actually really good too. It's not like an incredibly mind-blowing beer, but I appreciated the fact that it actually had some really nice flavor to go along with being such a light beer. Pretty much all the older light beers like Moose Light or Bud Light are just not enough to really mention. Wheat beers. I wrote down a category for wheat beers. Belgian Wit. I liked Hoegaarden the best. Hoegaarden, yes. Proper Belgian pronunciation is Hoegaarden. Soft G. Rickards makes a good one too. I thought I liked Rickards better than Blanc de Chamblay, which might be considered blasphemy to some people. I just didn't really appreciate the sour note in the back. Anyway, German Hefeweizen. I reviewed a lot of Hefeweizens on this channel. Paulaner, I thought was the best. I gave that one a 4.5 out of 5, just because not only does it have those nice Hefeweizen tastes, but it's so light and fluffy. Nice, really refreshing and easily drinkable. Another one that's really good one is personally my favorite Hefeweizen. It's a lot cheaper and comes in a bigger bottle, so I usually buy that one first. And that would be Canoe Ludwig. I really love the ample amount of banana flavors and clove flavors that you find in that one, especially banana. It's a really good tasting hef, and I really recommend it if you see it. Other wheat beers, Picaroons Dooryard Summer Ale, really good North American style white beer. And another good one, Propeller's Kristall, which is a take on like the German Hefeweizen style, except for this one's a filtered beer, so it's technically a Kristall. And yeah, it is a Kristall, but it's a nice, clean, easy drinking beer, and it's got those nice Hefeweizen flavors. When I came to the Hefeweizen category, I gave Propeller's Hefeweizen a 4 out of 5. And this Kristall that they came out with is basically just a filter version of that. Maybe it lacks imagination in that. I just thought it was a really nice tasting beer. And of course, the last category on my favorite beers list, as far as 150 reviews go, is Picaroons Dave's Adventure Ale. Takes my #1 spot for fruit, vegetable, and herbal beer. Picaroons Dave's Adventure Ale, I hope they keep that one as a staple. I mean, this Dave's Adventure thing was, you know, promoting a local NB guy who's on a voyage through Africa. But that thing might last, and I think it's a beer that should last, just because it's really good. A nice experimental pale ale with some nice lemon, ginger, and rooibos tea flavors. If you get a chance to try it. It's only available at the Brewtique in growler form as yet, but I really hope that it makes bottles, just because. And they already did like have a label choosing contest for that beer, so I hope they make good on it and actually do produce it in bottles. Another noteworthy one. I mean, come on, this is the fruit beer category. Moosehead Lime. That's got to be my favorite lime beer of the whole bunch. And that's why I figured I'd mention that one. Just, yeah, it's a matter of preference. I mean, Bud makes one, Miller makes one. It's just, when I came to Moosehead Lime, it's got these nice light lime flavor with a hint of beer flavor still in the back. And I know I poorly rated the Moose Light beer that this beer is based on. But it still ended up turning into a really nice beer with the lime flavor. So it's basically actually still tastes like beer. Now there's other beers that I haven't tried yet. Like I'd really like to try Red Baron's lime, see how that goes. There's also, I think, a lime beer from Labatt. It's not available here, like Blue Light Lime or some shit. But yeah, I imagine Moosehead would blow the doors off of that one. We're back here with what I would call my beer bucket list. This is a list of beers from different countries, different regions, that I would really love to get my hands on and try at some point. I call this my beer bucket list because it's a list of beers that I would really love to try before I die, before I kick the bucket. Kind of like that movie with Jack Nicholson in it. Hopefully, maybe at some point I'll acquire these either through my travels or from friends going places or from beer mails. It's not a definitive list of all the beers that I'd really like to try. It's just a good list of beers that I'd love to get my hands on at some point and really review. So I made a list here. We'll start off with the European beers. This is not counting the British ones. And I'll have to say my #1. Maybe not my #1, but this is no in particular order, but one of the beers that I would really love to get my hands on is Guinness's Foreign Extra Stout. I would love, absolutely love to get my hands on it. I mean, I love Guinness. Look, my shirt, Guinness. I just, this is the only Guinness we get here, so, I mean, this is one of the very first beers that wasn't a lager that I really fell in love with. The first time I ever tried Guinness was a few years ago on St. Patrick's Day, and I just decided I'd seen my friend, who's actually Heist Almighty and on Rate Beer, drinking a bottle of Guinness at a New Year's party, and I always wondered what it tasted like. And then one St. Patrick's Day, I decided to go Irish and give it a try, and it was love at first drink, really. I mean, I absolutely enjoyed it, and I'm drinking it today. Foreign Extra Stout is the closest thing, apparently, through getting a real Guinness without having to go to Ireland. And I might speed up here, just because this video is running a little long. I've already gone over 20 minutes. Another one is Westvleteren 12, the elusive Abbey beer from Westvleteren Abbey in Belgium. They only sell their beer at the Abbey. I would love to get a hold of that, a bottle of that, and review it for the channel. Whether that chances of that are really good, I don't know. And also, there's another Trappe still here, Roquefort 10. I really hope I get a chance to try that one. That's a more realistic beer for me to try at some point soon. I really hope I can get a chance to get that either. I think there's a store that might carry some in Halifax, and I believe there's stores in Maine that carry it, so who knows, maybe at some point, and hint hint, maybe somebody will send it to me. Wait, I think somebody might be sending it to me. Well, we'll leave that in the wings here. You know who you are. Thanks, by the way. Another one, Le Trappe Quadruple Oak Aged. Le Trappe is the Netherlands Trappist brewery. But the thought of a quadruple, one of my favorite Belgian Abbey styles, as shown, where two similar to quadruple beers were reviewed, and I really love. Then all of a sudden you make one that's oak aged. Oh, that sounds really good. And I don't know how you pronounce this. It's Ochsenkirla Roche beer, a German-style Roche beer, which Urban Viking actually reviewed on his channel, and I don't think he really liked it. But when it comes to Roche beer, there's no beer out there that's really as definitive to the style of Roche beer as that particular beer. I mean, when you go to Wikipedia, that's the picture that comes up as a Roche beer. And it'd be neat at some point to actually give it a try, just because it sounds neat. Moving into the British list, Wychwood Hobgoblin would be my number one. I'd really love to give a Hobgoblin a try. Apparently, it was actually available in Nova Scotia for a while, and I think you can get it in Ontario. Wychwood Brewery is a popular brewery in the UK. I think was it Suffolk County. None of others would know, but I've seen other people review it, and I just would like to get my hands on it. Two beers from Samuel Smith's. I guess you could say three. I didn't write this one down, but they would be the Samuel Smith's Oatmeal Stout, their Imperial Stout, and their Tadcaster Porter. I'd really love to try those at some point. Another one to try would be Black Sheep Ale. We used to get it here. I never got a chance to try it when it was here, so I'm just mainly just curious. But mainly for my main interest is not so much for the Black Sheep Ale, but another one that comes from that brewery, and that would be Monty Python's Holy Grail. Now, I've had it before a long time ago, but it was back before I really got into beer. But I was a big Monty Python fan. So the first time I tried it, I thought it was gross, and I ended up dumping it down the sink. But I would absolutely love to get another bottle of it to try today, just because I'd love to see how much my taste changed. That does it for British. Imagine there's probably others out there. You just won't find it at my travels. American style beers. Sierra Nevada's Pale Ale. Definitely would love to give those a try at some point. Another two beers I'd love to try would be Dogfish Head's 90-minute IPA and 120-minute IPA. Anything Dogfish Head. I mean, it's not that far away from here. It's in Delaware, still on the East Coast, but I'd really love to get my hands on a Dogfish Head beer of any sort to try. Another brand I'd really like to try, and I think these guys are from Maryland, that is Flying Dog, the beer brand endorsed by Hunter S. Thompson of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. The labels on all their beers is actually done by his illustrator. I forget his name. Anyway, Raging Bitch sounds really good. I'd really like to try that, but really anything from Flying Dog. And another one, I'm not sure who brews this one, but I've heard of so much about the beer itself. It's Old Rasputin Imperial Stout. I'd love to try Old Rasputin at some point. That's one of the highest ones I'd rate on my beer bucket list. For Canadian breweries, I'd have to say Unibrews Le Terrible. It's got to be one of my highest anticipated beers. I've seen reviews of it. I'd love to give it a try. Excuse me. That's the Guinness talking. Let's see, another one would be Creemore Springs Lager. Yes, a lager actually made this list. My favorite beer style is dark beers, but every once in a while I like having a lighter one, just because I like the hop taste as well. IPAs are another good one I like. And Rad Racer's IPA. Can't get that here. Anyway, continuing with the maritime list, the maritime brews that I'd like to pick out. There's five here in total. One of them's only available at the brew pub itself. But of the brews there, I would love to give Propeller Alpha Dog Wet Hop Ale a try. I might have a friend with a lead on that one, so we'll have to wait and see. It's a brew using all wet hops gathered throughout the Annapolis Valley in Nova Scotia, and it's brewed as a joint venture between Sea Level Brewing and Propeller Brewing in Halifax. It sounds delicious. Another one is an actual maritime brewed Russian Imperial Stout. Love to get my hands on that one. A maritime brewed stout. Damn, that would be one I would really love to try, especially when it's a Russian Imperial. I saw a review of it from El Harlock, and it just looked like a delicious beer. It's too bad we don't get it up here in New Brunswick. Maybe I'll find it in my travels. Who knows? Maybe somebody will send me one. Who knows? Garrison's Three Fields Harvest is another one I would like to try. Might have a friend on that one as well. It's another one that's made with wet hops from around the Maritimes, as well as it actually uses, and the name Three Fields comes from, it's using barley that was grown in the Maritimes as well. So all the malts came from like 2 different farms in Nova Scotia and one in New Brunswick, I think, that's up on the Acadian Eastern Shore near PEI. Yes, Garrison Old Fogburner, a barley wine from Halifax. I'd love to give that one a try as well. Just sounds interesting. Won an award at the Canadian Brewing Awards this year. Just sounds like something exquisite. Anyway, the one that's only available at the brew pub is Pump House's Muddy River Stout. I've heard a lot about it. I think at one point it was available in bottles, but only available for purchase at the Pump House Brewery. I almost got a chance to try it this summer, but we were running a little late going to the U2 concert, so I didn't get a chance to stop at the Pump House Brewery for lunch. Parking lot was too far away, and with the traffic and everything, it was absurd. So I mean, it wasn't worth trying. Anyway, let's get down to the category I imagine a lot of people have been waiting for. What would I call the shittiest beer ever reviewed on my channel? Well, I've got 3 beers that I would give the title of that to. And I've got 2 of them on hand right here. I might send it to some people at some point to see just to show people how bad they are. One of them is Bavaria Original 8.6. That received one of the lowest ratings on my channel of all time, 1 out of 5. I always like drinking alcoholic Kool-Aid. Another shitty beer, and this one got the lowest rating of all time, but it's no surprise considering it's non-alcoholic. That would be Molson Exel. And I think it was like $5 for the 12-pack, and I ended up dumping most of them down the sink just because they're horrid. Yeah. Another shitty one. The Virus, that is Moose Light Ginger. Another crappy beer. I love Moosehead. I didn't love the ginger. I wish they would discontinue this. If they were to make a ginger, I would have rather have seen make them like a real spicy ginger beer kind of beer instead of Moose Light with ginger flavor. It's crap. Honestly, what Moosehead should have done this year as a seasonal, or like as a summer beer or something, would have been a lemon lime beer, and take a lead off of what Molson and Miller had done. But I digress. Maybe they should have kept the blackberry out for another year. I would have drank that. Alright, so that covers up my my shittiest beer segments, and I guess at this point I'd just like to give out some shoutouts. All the people that have been influential to my channel, other ones that I just want to mention and I want to say thanks to. If I don't mention someone here, don't think that I don't like your channel. I like everybody's channel. I watch reviews from everybody. I mean, there might be somebody I'm just absentmindedly forgetting, because I do that a lot. I mean, I do that even in my reviews sometimes, where I forget to mention a flavor. Like, I probably didn't say anything with the toasted grains and with that porter, but whatever. The foremost I want to give a shout out to would be Al Harlock of Hoadley's Beer Reviews, without which that channel I wouldn't be beer reviewing. First started getting into watching beer reviews in 2009. And the first channel I started watching, I was sitting down with a Pump House SOB, and I really liked it, and I wanted to see what other people thought about it online. And that's when I first found El Harlock's channel. That entire summer was a voyage trying different beers, all at the recommendation of El Harlock. And but one thing I really noticed is that he wasn't able to review everything. And at that point, I didn't realize that there were some beers that we got here in New Brunswick that weren't available down there, like Picaroons. So I took it upon myself at first. My first pseudo reviews. They don't really count in my numbering system because were my Beer Olympics and my Maple Cream from Picaroons, where I took a look at Picaroons versus some of the other ones, and it was just being honest with them, really. Yeah, I really like Picaroons, and it was reviewing those ones that really got me into reviewing them first. Another one that was one of my first ones was Pale Ale. And it was around the time that I sent my first beer mail to El Harlock that I noticed that people started watching those reviews, and it was actually kind of uplifting. I had recently been in Nova Scotia for a family funeral, and I picked up a whole bunch of beers to try from the NSLC, and the fridge was full. I decided, hey, why not? I started reviewing beer, starting with Propeller Hefeweizen and Moosehead's Pale Ale. So that's the story there. Another beer channel I'd like to mention is Albino Rhino, who's got a really great channel, really funny, a lot of funny reviews, and it's a really nice channel to watch if you ever get a chance. He's got, I mean, shout outs to the Reverend and the cartoon. They're absolutely hilarious when they get going. Another one I'd like to mention is Jake of Jakendar. He occasionally does beer reviews, but he also does a lot of adventure reviews on his channel as well. And it's kind of an inspiration for me. It's kind of the reason why I started posting my adventures, like my geocaching video or reversing falls or the cruise ships in town. Just it's actually kind of neat, and I really like watching his videos, even if they're mundane. Moving on, another channel I really like watching. And that goes to you, Dave. The Urban Vikings Ale reviews. Really suggest checking out Dave's channel. He's one of the better reviewers out there, and he's one of my two favorite British beer reviewers. He basically, what I'll have to say for him is watch his reviews, or he'll burn your village and cut you down with an axe.
Viking metal.
Viking metal. Raw review. Ale review. Okay, I can't do it. And of course, the other one is Beer Goggles. Gotta love Beer Goggles' channel. He's entertaining to watch, and he's so knowledgeable. He's got a great presenting style where you feel like he's not so much reviewing the beer, but you're actually sitting down with him, next to him in a chair, while he's taking a look at this beer, and you can almost taste it sometimes when he's reviewing them too. Really like his reviews. Another two, I doubt I'll ever hear this shout out, but Dennis LD and Montreal Beers Reviews. He's another one that's reviewed some of the beers that we have available here, and I really like watching him. He's very knowledgeable. He's quite intelligent. Another shout out I gotta give is this guy's a great trader, but he's a great trader of beers. I haven't traded with him personally, but I've seen some other stuff with like Al Harlock and Albino Rhino's channel, and he's done some great work with tracking beers down. He's just about to start reviewing beer himself, so I'll be the first one to shout out to the reviews of Brew By Me. You get some really amazing beers. I'd really like to see some reviews and see what your thoughts on them. So yeah, start reviewing. And there's a shout out for you. So another one worth mentioning is from the States, Chad's Beer Reviews. He's another one that's been a little bit influential. I mean, a lot of the beers I get here from either from the States or, well, not so much beers I get here, but ones that I've found in like Maine or something. He's reviewed a lot of them, so it's always neat to watch his channel to fill in those gaps. Another one worth mentioning from the States is Joe D. You probably won't hear about this shout out either. That would be J.D. Davin's channel. Another knowledgeable beer review from a trucker, and I don't know where exactly he's from, but he's another good beer reviewer, and it's always a blast watching his reviews as well. I don't think he posts them quite as often as he used to, but and another one I gotta give a shout out to would be Ronald the Riot of Louisiana Beer Reviews. Y'all go watch his channel out here. Alright, we keep running out of tape here. My camera's a Fujifilm S2900, I believe. 2950, something like that. It records in HD, but it's got like a file size limitation due to the memory card of like 2 gigabytes of file. which roughly translates out to about 9 minutes and 41 seconds of HD video. It's good enough to review a beer most times, but it's not enough to record a long 150th beer special. I can't guarantee all my beer specials like this will be this long, and thank you so far for enduring it this long. I hope you heard your name shout out, and if not, I still appreciate it all. Anyway, cheers to everybody who does beer reviews out there. You guys have been really an inspiration for me to do this channel, and thanks for sticking out this far, all the way up to my 150th beer review and further. I hope that the next 150 go by as smoothly. Probably won't go by as quickly. I'm sort of regulating myself more to a pattern where I upload something on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and maybe a few more here and there, or maybe like 5-6 reviews a week. That's still 5-6 different beers I have to track down a week. So at some point in the future, you know, like NBL Liquor is starting to run a little dry for me, and I've gotten lots of beers, lots of beers from like Nova Scotia and Maine and stuff, but at some point, you know, the number of reviews will start to dwindle because I'm not finding as many. But don't forget, I still like enjoying beer, and possibly at some point in the future, if I start getting hard up reviews, I might take another look at some other ones, like some of my earlier reviews, like Moosehead Pale Ale. I might do like a thing where I go back and revisit that particular beer, knowing what I know now, and review it again. Anyway. Thanks for watching this. I hope you enjoyed my 150th review and my 150th review special, and enjoy drinking a Guinness with me. Oh yeah, really good stuff. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.